The misty figure of Eldoria looked at Elara with its old, wise eyes. "You have chosen the path of the guardian," it said, and the forest around them seemed to breathe in agreement. The dark path ahead was not just a normal trail. It shimmered, and the air itself seemed to hum with hidden energy. Elara had barely caught her breath when she realized she was no longer in the familiar clearing of the heartwood. The silver light was gone, replaced by a strange, swirling sky that shimmered with colors she had never seen before. The air was thick and alive, humming with energy that made the hairs on her arms stand on end. Every sound, the wind, the distant calls of unseen creatures, even her own heartbeat, seemed louder, sharper, more real. Though the forest she had left was gone, the amulet around her neck still glowed softly, a small comfort in this strange land. Almost immediately, the new forest began to test her. Shadows moved differently here. They weren't just shapes. They seemed alive, stretching and twisting, watching her with unseen eyes. One moment, a dark figure would dart past her vision, and when she turned, there was nothing there. Whispers followed her everywhere, soft, unintelligible at first, but gradually forming words that seemed to come from inside her own mind. "Do you know your strength?" one whisper asked. "Do you understand the cost?" another hissed. Elara's heart pounded, but she forced herself to move forward. Each step was like walking through a dream where the rules of reality had shifted. The air smelled of damp earth and strange flowers that glowed in the dim light. She noticed creatures lurking in the shadows, some small, like foxes with fur that shimmered like liquid silver, and others enormous, with eyes that gleamed like molten gold. They watched her, but did not attack, as if testing her, judging her resolve. The path eventually opened into a wide glade. In its center, a pool of water reflected the swirling sky above. But this was no ordinary reflection. The surface of the water moved on its own, forming images of things that had never existed, strange cities made of crystal, mountains that bent and twisted impossibly, and shadows of people she had never met but somehow felt she should know. As Elara approached, a voice echoed from the pool itself. It was not loud, but it carried through the glade, low and commanding. "Guardian, to proceed, you must face what you fear most." Her chest tightened. She had already faced the brokenness, the darkness of the heartwood, but now it seemed that this place reached deeper into her mind, her memories, and her doubts. The water began to swirl violently, and suddenly, visions appeared. She saw herself failing, losing the amulet, the forest falling into shadow, her parents' faces twisted in sorrow. The fear gripped her like icy hands, threatening to stop her in her tracks. She held the amulet tight. It pulsed warmly, reminding her that she was not alone. She took a deep breath and stepped closer to the pool, refusing to look away from the visions. She whispered to herself, a mantra she barely understood but felt deeply. "I am stronger than fear. I am the guardian. I will protect Eldoria." The water stilled. The visions faded, replaced by a glowing pathway leading into a dense part of the forest. It was darker here, the trees twisted and tall, their branches like reaching fingers. The whispers returned, softer this time, almost guiding her forward. As she moved down the path, she felt a presence behind her, a shadow that moved with her steps but never revealed itself. The forest seemed to breathe around her. Every leaf, every branch, every stone pulsed with a life of its own. It was as though the land itself was aware of her, testing her, teaching her, shaping her. Hours or perhaps days passed. Time felt strange here, stretching and bending. She crossed rivers of light that sang as she stepped into them, navigated groves where the ground shifted beneath her, and climbed hills where the wind carried voices from far-off lands. Each trial made her stronger, more attuned to the magic that flowed through Eldoria. She could hear the heartbeat of the world beneath her feet, the rhythm of its life weaving itself into her own. Finally, she reached the top of a hill, and there she saw something that stole her breath. Far below, in a valley shrouded in mist, lay a massive structure, like a castle and a forest combined. Its towers were made of living wood, intertwined with crystal and glowing vines. Strange lights danced along the walls, and creatures moved in and out of shadow. She had never seen anything like it. And somewhere deep inside, she knew this place was connected to the brokenness, perhaps its true source. Elara's amulet pulsed urgently, and she realized that the next step of her journey would be far more dangerous than anything she had faced. The forest had tested her, shaped her, and prepared her, but now it was calling her towards something unknown, something that could change everything. As the wind carried faint whispers through the valley, Elara tightened her grip on the amulet. Her heart raced, a mix of fear and determination. She knew she could not turn back. Ahead lay the next trial, one that would decide the fate of Eldoria itself. And just as she stepped forward, the shadows in the valley shifted, forming a shape she recognized with a shiver, a figure made entirely of broken light and darkness, its eyes glowing with green fire, watching her. Her journey had only just begun. Watch out for part 3 on our YouTube channel.